I would say be patient.
Mm.
Be patient, and just be patient. Be patient, have faith, and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. Just take time to breathe. I always thought things were supposed to happen like this.
Yeah.
Like, and if I can give any advice to any restaurant out there, yeah, you can have a couple of badass bookings, and you want shit to happen. Oh, I should be here. My money should be here. Man, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes you to be humble.
Yeah.
That too, be humble, man. Like if I was me telling my younger self, be humble when you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just be humble.
New season, Project Get to Know podcast. My name is Emmanuel, and we are remote. We are at, well, it's the bistro now, but it used to be the yard where we have the owner and head promoter, booker. I'll say this to Kiefer last time. You're the grand poobah of the United 210. We have Studstache on the season premiere. The last time I was here during the daytime was at the cookout. And a lot has changed, and knowing where United 210 is happening, let's start at the beginning. Where did the conception of United 210 come about?
Okay. Well, before I get there, I just want to let you know that, yeah, we call it the bistro now because, you know, my pops, Papa Stache. But it will forever be known as the Yard of United.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
Hey, we don't just say that out there. It's coming from the owner's mouth. I have nothing against that.
Yeah, and thank you for this gracious gift.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Chris Gomez over at Kaiju. This is the Fire and Vitality. This is their, like, New Year's, Chinese New Year brew that they have every year. So I wanted to bring a little bit of Austin over here in San Antonio.
Hey, I like it. Anything alcohol, I like. I mean, But okay, back to your question. How this all get started?
Yes.
Man, I want to go back in time to where, you know, the whole COVID thing, everything kind of shut down. And the inspiration was actually from heavy metal wrestling. Dylan Dunbar, good friend, good brother, needed a place to put the ring. So we put it back here so we could continue training. And Wild Hair got up us, and we were like, you know, how about we just have a show? So ironically enough, the first show was called the Heavy Metal Barbecue. And we had it back here. And it was during the day. I think it was like a 3 o'clock show. And we were selling barbecue plates as well at the same time. We had about 6 matches. A lot of people came out. I want to say, you know, at least like 60 people came out. It was a little, I want to say it was a little cold. We had some kind of cold front. But that happened, and we're all kind of like, whoa, you know, what do we just do? And more people were saying, when's the next show? When's the next show? We were only planning on this one. So we had that show, and then we all kind of got together and was like, you know, let's have something else maybe. Time passes by, you know, a couple months. The ring had to go back to Austin, you know, so we lost the ring, and I'm sitting back here drinking some beer with Papa Stache, and he was so excited about, you know, what happened back here. And he was all, you know, what's keeping y'all from having another, you know, show back here? I said, well, first off, we don't have a ring. Second off, I didn't like, because this slab that we're on, it was added on after the fact once we started running.
I was going to ask that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the ring was in the dirt, you know, in the grass. I mean, very good grass because Papa Stache keeps this well maintained. And so he goes, do I need to add on more cement? And I said, you do that? He goes, yeah. So he added on more cement. You know, he called my bluff. Called my bluff.
I got him.
Added more cement. He goes, what else do we need to do? And I said, well, I need to get a ring. He goes, how much are rings? I said, they could run anywhere from like $3,500 to $6,000.
Right.
So he goes, well, we're going to do it. Let's do it right. So, you know, I put in about half, and he was actually the other half of the backing to buy our brand new ring. Brought the ring here, set it up, and we were excited. We started training, and then the brainstorming began, like, all right, what kind of show can we run? So it started off with I think it was called United. Like we labeled it United. I came up with that.
That was
name.
I saw that first sign at the War Pit. But we'll get into it. But that was the first thing I saw. I was driving to the War Pit. I was like, oh, it just says United on there.
Yeah. So it was United, and then you know, I think we called it like street market wrestling because we invited vendors and everything. You know, because we wanted the whole community to be involved and to enjoy this. And it just so happens the day before the show, we got a spot on, I want to say on KSAT, the spot came up, happenings going on around San Antonio, and they plugged us. And we were like, oh my God, they plugged us. And then so we're like, man, is anybody going to show up? Is anybody going to show up? And mind you, I'm about 2 years into my wrestling journey at this point. Maybe coming up on 3, and it's my first time promoting. Mm-hmm. And just on a whim, hey, let me promote this. Let's have a show. Had a show, and then, we came out here and we just see everybody pulling up. Chairs, people bringing beer, and we looked at it and we're like, man, there's about 250 people here.
Yeah. And
that's when we realized we had something.
Yeah.
We had something. So we ran I remember it was September. We ran September, October, November. And we're
what
like,
year
all right.
Was this?
Oof. 20 had to be 2020.
Oh, so it's like in the middle of the pandemic.
So the pandemic, it happened, and then we're coming up on September of that year.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're like, that's when everybody was like, hey, mask, all the distancing kind of like pulled away a little bit. So we had in September, we had a show October, then November. And then we realized, because of the weather, we couldn't have any shows in December, January, probably even February. So that
just because of the weather.
Yeah. So that gave us time to kind of like really brand United and really set up like, what can we do? Let's make up some stories. So we started going, through the motion of making stories and booking talent. And this, mind you, this is all foreign language to me because I'm just a worker. I'm considering myself a green worker, but I adapted to the wrestling world, like it was second nature to me.
Yeah. On
top of my training. So we started, those 3 months, and everybody was like, when y'all having another show? I said, it's December, man.
They wanted
it. Yeah. Everybody wanted it.
Yeah.
And so we said, you know what, March? Let's really kick it off.
Yeah.
We got, our graphic designer, Paul Seacrest, to come in and say, I can do this for y'all. And to really make us stand out, some great graphics. We had a small committee, included myself and Rob Love at the time. And we kind of ran with it. And after that first show coming back, it was just like, oh, there is something here.
Yeah, the floodgates were opening.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And March, we just started rolling. And all of a sudden, we didn't have any championships,
It was just a show.
It was just shows. And then, hey, man, we need a champion.
Yeah.
So the inception of the United title, the United Championship, the first championship. And then we came up with tag championships. And then we came up with the Heritage Championship.
Yeah.
Like, it just started growing. Like, we couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop it because the fans, they demanded more.
Yeah.
In the greatest way, they demanded more. So we gave them what they wanted. And slowly but surely, the crowds grew from, oh, they're coming back. It's 100, 150, 200, 250, to where we had people sitting beyond these gates watching a show. And, I couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it, And that's just how it just happened from an idea. Me and my dad sitting out here drinking some beer, and him supporting this dream that I had that, he saw me work at it, at an older age. So that started when I was 37. So him just seeing me really be into this, this wrestling world and committing a lot of my time, training, personal time. And, he backed me up 100%. And we made it, we made the dream, a realization. And man,
I find it fascinating because Triple H mentioned it on one of the post shows and one of the PLEs. booking is always the hardest part of any show. For you guys to do these matches show in and show out, what were some of those like mental blocks that you had to go through to make a show where it's really running on all four cylinders every time?
So our thing was we took our position as since we started on Friday, big shows are on Saturday, the biggest shows are on Sunday, so we were like, let's use our show as like a stepping stone for talent to get ready for these big weekends. So that's how we took it. And pretty soon, everybody wants an opportunity because they found out what we had, and that's the hard part about the booking is like, man, at one point we had jotted down so much, we had like 16 matches. And we're like, okay, we can't do 16. Let's scale it back. So, it's hard because you want to give everybody a shot. You want to give everybody opportunity. Everybody's working hard, and the hard part about the booking is just coming down to at least 7 or 8 matches. And even,
you sense like some people, you have to turn people away.
Yeah, and that's the worst part, because you see them working hard, in the training facilities. You see them working hard personally in their own gyms. And you're like, man,
driving long distances, like whether it's Houston, some guys are in Houston, they're like, 3 hours.
And then we'd have talent that would come from Austin, from Houston, from Corpus, just to help out. And you feel something for them. You're like, man, I want to give them a spot because they drove all this way. But yeah, that's the hard part. I was really, and everybody gives me crap for this, but like, I was too nice my first year as a promoter. And I remember Rob Love would always make fun of me for this. He goes, man, you're the Oprah Winfrey.
You get a match.
You get a match. You get a match. You got a shot. You got a shot. And, I was just like, well, I mean, my bad, for being a nice guy and just wanting to give opportunities to these hungry talents, But yeah, that's the hard part about booking, man.
Do you remember the matches on your first show?
I remember me and Rob Love, the Kingdom, because at this point, I'm sure you're caught
it's
up
your
with
show.
Me and Rob Love, the Kingdom, versus Culture Shock.
Yeah.
Daniel Ryan, Ollie Summers, CJC, man.
Shout out CJC.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I want to say that was their first time leaving Austin to work.
Yeah.
Out of Austin,
wow.
out of the city, and they came and man, we lit that place on fire for the main event. A real memory I have is at the end, after the show, we're all facing each other in the ring.
Yeah.
We get beers. We want to, hey, let's all cheers on a great night, a great opening show. We all chugged and did the old Stone Cold special, gave them all stunners, beers flying. We're celebrating.
Dang, I missed that show.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. That show you can actually find on YouTube, but you have to specifically type it in.
Yeah.
I think we do have it. I think Wrestling Tacos just put it up on our library.
Yeah.
So you can find that. I remember that. I remember Santa Chivo was a part of it. And he's out there doing his thing, but he was a part of it. Big old fan following, fun character. We had Teflon John. We had Decimus, from Laredo. Even Epidemius Jr. was a part of this show, and nobody knew who he was.
Yeah,
and he was on this show and showed out, and all the fans were amazed and wanted him back. Those are just a few of the names I remember being on that show that night. And it was just a great night. It was a great night. I remember that.
Because I was thinking too, where the community has been a really larger part of United 210, and much like the talent, this is what I'm noticing with every show, that having that heartbeat of a community within San Antonio and the South Side too, which is probably the more like what catches me off guard sometimes, and seeing how the community's tied together. How is that such a forefront with United 210, whether it's from the beginning or you notice like, oh, a lot of people from San Antonio are showing up with each and every show?
Yeah, so it first started with like, Facebook. We were spreading it on Facebook. Of course, I was putting flyers around local businesses here. So the neighborhood kind of gets involved. Oh, what is this? And granted, all the fans that were here, about maybe 20% of them, 30% were wrestling fans. Everybody else was just like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let's check it out. And slowly but surely, that 30% of wrestling fans turned into 50, 60, 70, to where we converted people who don't give a damn about wrestling, and all of a sudden
They just want to be there.
And all of a sudden, after a few shows, they're 100% invested in this business, in this product, in United. And the thing I think that drew everybody in was it was affordable. From the beginning, $10 tickets for adults, 12 and under children get in for free. BYOB, I got food trucks. If you want to bring your own food, that's cool too. I don't care. I have trash cans. And my thing was, I saw a family one time. This is before we started United. I saw a family one time, went to the movies. Saw a family one time, family of 4, here in the South Side, right down the road at that theater right there at the Mayan. Family of 4, mom, dad, 2 kids. Before they even get to the theater, they had already dropped about $60.
Jeez.
And then
I forgot what. Yeah, that's right.
Then they get to the theater, popcorn, soda, pickle,
Concessions, yeah.
candy. Before the night's done, before the movie's over, they already spent about $100.
Yeah.
So I wanted.
Yeah, drive-in theaters too, but that's dine-in theaters too, but good.
So I wanted to change that dynamic and give everybody who works hard all week long, all month long, whatever, come here and be able to be like, you know what? If it's a single parent, if it's 2 parents, all they got to spend is $20 on them. Kids get it for free. They could bring their own alcohol, and they can have a night of not worrying about prices, not worrying about losing money.
Yeah.
And all that extra money that they have that they would have spent at the theater, they could use it on food. They could use it on merchandise.
Yeah. Support the talent here too.
Yeah, with the talent here, and that was my mission, just to make it easier on the everyday working man. And I think we accomplished that.
Because with that growth too, and we're gonna bring this up, it's already been, at least in our IWC in Texas, like where the yard was starting to grow, and then you see that growth, and then suddenly there's that big halt of the ordinance from the city of San Antonio. To know that, okay, this was a curveball for you, and I was there when the news broke out, and seeing that noise ordinance. And did you sense that the reach of where the yard is that where it's heading, where the reach is getting larger and larger, and you had to really get out of your own shell, kind of like a crab molting out of its shell? Did you sense where that's heading?
Yeah. And then one of the people, I always point to my dad because he sees everything. He sees everything. He from the cars coming in to the matches happening, you can always see him perched up there, right where the hard cam was.
Yeah.
And he kept on saying, like, this is getting big. It's getting too big. He goes, I don't know what we could do, but it's getting too big. And not in a bad way, but he's like, what are you going to think of next? What can we do next? And that's where I was stuck.
Yeah.
Because this was home. And this was so intimate, and I didn't want to. It was like your first girlfriend.
Yeah. Damn. You can add that.
We fell in love. And when it was time to like let her go, I wasn't ready to let her go.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't ready, and I didn't think that far ahead. Luckily I have a great support system, and especially some of the wrestlers who would always throw ideas out there. What about this place? What about this place? I had a great friend who pitched the War Pit to me, who saw that we were hurting and gave us such a reasonable fee that I couldn't turn it down because there was nowhere else to perform.
Yeah.
And then you have other great people and great businesses like Breakaway Brewing Company who offered up their parking lot. And at the same time, I'm like, a parking lot? But then once the ring was there and once the crowd got there, it no longer resembled a parking lot. It resembled just an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
And then, we have our great partners in Hybrid, School of Wrestling, who just said, hey, if you have any trouble, why don't you come run with us?
Yeah.
And just as recently as this past weekend, we did a double show there, Hybrid on Saturday, United on Sunday. they hosted us, and the same group came, plus dedicated United fans came. And it made the feeling like, man, they love us. You know, they want this. They want United. So, you know, I have so many, we have so many partners that help us out and are looking out for us. And we're so blessed.
Because I think what's fascinating, because I think we're seeing a lot of people on the table in San Antonio, in Austin, and in Houston to have, because I remember it was a Borracho show. It was during...
Bronzo too, great brothers.
Yeah, there you go.
You
there
know,
you go.
we hosted the first cookout.
Yes.
And then they hosted it, and they made it all about United over there when we're going through a hard time.
Yeah, because I was going to ask that, because there was a match that you had with the Kingdom at that Borracho show, and this approached you. And the proceeds, I might be, there may be a bit...
a lot of proceeds went to us.
Yeah.
You know, and to help us during this
Paraphrasing
time. Yeah, which some of those proceeds helped us, save our ass, so to speak, by helping us file for an LLC and making it legit, so nobody could take it away from us. Because we had people at the time that they wanted to take United from us, the name and everything. But with Borracho's help that day, I mean, it was so, that wrestling community, in Austin, like I even said it at the final promo, like, I love San Antonio. San Antonio is my home. I said, but I love Austin.
Yeah. I'm in the same front. Like Austin's,
Austin.
Exactly.
I love Austin, and that was a special show. Great to know that we have great brothers in Austin, such as Borracho. New Texas helped us out a lot, so we're all kind of on the same page, helping each other out. We're all in some chat rooms together, and we're just there to support each other.
Which is kind of fascinating where, like, we have the show next Saturday. We're promoting that for next Sunday on the 8th. And seeing where storytelling is heading, because oftentimes, we talked about this before with, like, mental blocks, but to have that story coming in on the 8th and knowing, okay, and you mentioned it, it's already 6 years? Yeah, 6 years since, United had its inception. When you look back at that journey, and what were some of those lessons and what were some of those roadblocks for you to keep going and growing United as one of those premier promotions in San Antonio?
Lessons I've learned was, like I said before, me being too nice. Wrestling's a cutthroat business, believe it or not. But you meet those very few brothers who are genuine and who are really looking out for you, rather than those who just want to squeeze you for all the juice you have and discard you when they're done using you.
Yeah.
Because it's happened to me. It's happened to United. It's happened to me. It's happened internally, as far as, like, with certain talent, with certain, production crews. It happens, and I get it. Everybody has their own agenda. Like with our vision, we're not looking to get rich. We're not looking, we want to make money for the company. I'm not looking personally to, hey, Studstache wants to be loaded in dough. No, that's not my mission. Which other people are just looking like, hey, we should charge this so we can get this amount of money and this amount of money. I said, well, for what? Yeah, to pad the account for United.
Yeah.
But, I've had talent say, like, oh, you saw how many people were there? We did good. I'm worth, such and such amount of dollars now. I said, it don't work like that. Like, come on, man. Like, up until this day, me, myself, and King Rob Love have never taken a paycheck from United.
It's for, like, the benefit of...
Yeah, even when I put my own hard-earned money from my shoot job to make merchandise, whether it's for United, whether it's for the Kingdom, Studstache, King Rob Love, all that money goes back into the United account. I don't see a dime, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So if other people could see that, and I'm not saying, hey, work for free, but, like, be like, man, I know I'm charging this much, and I know, and we don't rely on sponsors, because I hate taking people's money. You know what I mean? I hate taking people's money. Sponsorship is just another nice way of saying, hey, give me your money. But if someone believes in us and says, hey, I want you to have X amount of dollars, to support your show, okay, thank you. And I'll make sure and put you in the spotlight and, well, like, what's your company about? Let me talk about your company on my time. I'm glad to do that. But yeah, nobody knows that me and Rob was never taking a paycheck from each
Yeah,
other.
because it's the way United is too, is seeing the community aspect and knowing it's not about, well, I mean, of course, like there is cost to doing
Yeah.
everything in whether it's in business or life in general, but after seeing a lot of the shows, whether it's in the War Pit or in the Yard, you sense that it is really geared towards where San Antonio wrestling is. And of course we see the RCWs, see the hybrids, but it's one of those promotions where I notice it's never about the bookers or anyone, but it's the talent, because it gives them a platform
Yeah, exactly.
to go to put them over where they need to, or if people who are out of the city, out of San Antonio to get their shows in, they want to put their spot. Because we talked about it on the press conference where it's just for the guys and gals in the locker room for them to showcase their talents.
Exactly. Yeah. It's for those, especially that, because I really believe in like production. Like, I want like wrestling tacos. They're so awesome because they belt out clips like
every day too, which is like crazy.
I know there's two. I know for sure there's two. Franco and his wife, but then they added on like they always have like at least two more to that crew. So there's four. But it's like there's 10 of them because they're belting out, and and it's not just our show they're doing other people's show, and they're doing X amount of work, you know, like crazy, like some kind of production factory.
Yeah.
So
it's like
shout
they
out
have
to,
something to like put it there.
So shout out to Wrestling Tacos and he works full time on top of this.
Yeah.
At a regular job. So, it's so this talent. Especially the ones that we give opportunities to, because I can't tell you how many people have had their first match with United, or how many people like, hey, this is our second match. Hey, this is the first time I'm out of town. And that's great because they get exposed to this audience who looks them up on Instagram, Facebook, and, they're gaining fans. And then with the clips that, the production crew belts out, they're getting exposure so they could use those clips.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. That's what it's about. Like giving the talents a platform, chances to, and we don't, chances to do what they want to do to an extent, because I don't micromanage. We don't micromanage. What's your idea?
It takes their personality away if it does.
Yeah, and so when we ask them, what do you want to do? They look at us surprised, like,
oh,
nobody's asking me that. Everybody always telling us, this is what I want you to do. Yeah, we may say, hey, I want so-and-so to look a certain way, but it's up to you to make that happen.
Yeah.
So.
Because I was thinking, because the Indie Showcase became a thing too, because I talked about that with Kiefer. If you want to, I'll send a link over to the episode about that, where to take the talent from United to Baytown, and how much of that brand of what you're doing in United to carry that over from San Antonio to, in this case, in the Houston area.
Yeah. Man, Kiefer.
We're pulling all the bases here.
Yeah, man. Kiefer Bartek. First off, talk about a great wrestler.
Yeah. He's the sheriff.
Not a lot of people have seen Kiefer Bartek in the ring, because now he's focusing on New Texas, and all these partnerships they have, like in California now and stuff like, man, that's big time.
The initiative, yeah.
That is big time. But yeah, for Kiefer to trust us and to trust our promotion, to be like, all right, well, you bring a set of guys that probably nobody knows in Houston.
Yeah.
Bring them over and let's see what they could do. And every year that we've been invited to the showcase, it's been, a hole in one.
Was there like blocks that you have, or you're just like, we'll just come as we are as United to carry what you guys are doing?
Now we've had like little meetings so we get the invitation, and the management side's like, man, who do you think should go? And every year I'm saying, I don't want to go,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'll be there to support my guys, but I don't want to go. It's just this last year, actually the first showcase, I tore my quad.
What?
That wasn't a part of United. This was before United even started.
Okay.
First showcase, I tore my quad. That's when I tore my quad, and I was like, you know what?
That was Mother Nature saying, all right, let's not.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. But after that, I think the first one we had was Teflon John versus Epidemius Jr. for
Yeah.
the United Championship, and that one was a great match. I think the next year we followed up with uh, Casey Blackrose defending the championship against King Rob Love,
Yeah.
and that was an awesome. That was a real old
I
school
saw
match.
that.
That was an old school match,
It was.
you know. And whatever anybody says out there, old school's cool. Old school gets the story done. Old school gets the job done.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know the styles change and everything like that, but I'm an old school guy. I only have 5 moves.
So you are Cena.
But it works. But it works. It works just because I could tell a story with this, you know, my presence, and, you know, I'm a great seller. And then this last one that we just had with Riot Party,
Yeah.
which I think Houston just got a taste of them at what is that, Contender Series?
Yep.
Yeah, they got a taste of Riot Party for like maybe 2 shows,
Mm-hmm.
and they were teaming with Hit, who is a phenomenal talent and who
Yeah.
he's going to be on our big screens. You know, it should
It's
already
a
be
matter
happening.
of when.
It's a matter of when, yeah. So it was them against me, King Rob Love, and Jaden Valentino, who nobody was familiar with, and we had that.
Thank God for Hybrid. If I didn't
Yeah.
see her, if I didn't see Jaden, I'm like,
Yeah. And we, after that match, or during that match, after that match, we had the whole crowd out of their seats. You know, I think it was right before intermission.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know.
You want that pop. You really,
Yeah, and everybody did a great job. Heels, faces, you know, the match flow, everything was great. But, Kiva Bartek out there in Houston doing his thing. Even comes up with this Texas 8, which debuted last year.
Mm-hmm.
And just very innovative over there. Like my goals is to get our guys ready enough to send them to Contender Series.
Yeah.
To get them on those new Texas shows, you know, in Houston, in Austin. Like Jesse Funaki, who is
Just announced that he is in Texas 8.
yeah, he's in Texas 8, and he started off wrestling with us here.
Yeah.
We had him as a member of the Kingdom for the past 2 years, and kept trying to push him out there. And yes, his name alone,
Yeah.
you know, gets him out there. But you know, just him.
It's the work that he puts in.
The work, yeah. And I don't think I don't think he wanted to just settle on the name alone. So we would push his name out there. I remember Bradley was trying to get him on Baracho, so you know, we had to work things out because I don't think he was working with Hybrid and just Hybrid and us.
Yeah.
And so, you know, pulling strings, trying to get him elsewhere. And now he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Now he's all over the place. And just on a platform like New Texas, you know, so many people will know more about Jesse Funaki.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just came out on Impact a couple stints.
Yeah.
But even more now with that platform for New Texas, you know, the range is just going to go like this. But that's like the case for like Epidemius Jr. You know, once he started going New Texas and, you know, Inspire, stuff like that, like, you know, that's all we're trying to do is get our guys ready to branch out and bloom out and really show what they're about.
It's never about, because I was thinking about where we're seeing, because I never knew Casey if we weren't here. Well, I've known him from Mission, but it was just a couple of years, and then he showed up in United. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then you see him in Inspire, you see him in the Texas, he was in the Texas League last year. And to see the growth of where everyone is going, you get to see where the beginnings of those stars are.
It's almost like Hybrid's the womb
Yeah.
for these talents, and they get them all ready, and it's like a farm system. Like they go from Hybrid to us, so they can get used to performing in front of crowds, and then, you know, other promotions will pick up on them. Hey, you know, who is this person? And, you know, I'll get those messages. Who are they? They're great. They're reliable. They're coachable. You know, scoop them up. Take them. You know, just let them know. But that's almost like what it is, and it's like it's a system, man. It's like Hybrid's the womb. They produce. You know, they produce so many great talents.
Yeah.
And then we get them, and kind of shove them into the light and be like, you know, sink or swim.
Yeah.
And then, but we'll coach them along the way, and then so
It's
they
their
can get
direction,
so they
too.
could get ready to do, you know, the New Texas, you know, the RCW, the freaking out of state, you know, the out of state runs, stuff like that. You know, the Barachos, the Wrestling Cartel, you know, GCWA. You know,
Yeah, and it just shows where it's spread out, where you see them everywhere, and it starts here, and it grows up from there. So we'll turn away from promotion to go to you, because now we have the Texas Brass Knuckles Championship with Death in the Family. Where did that come from? Because that one was a bit of a surprise for me, because it's like, you've had titles before, tag teams, singles, but being in Austin with Death in the Family, with Bradley and with Biss and Dmitry Alexandrov, to have that title for you and being the inaugural? Yeah, inaugural champion. Yeah. Okay. And I will say this, and I will say it with a statement. This is your first championship. You cannot, what was that? My brain went off. Having that, let me rephrase that. Man, my brain is going off. To have that inaugural title and having that first championship there, and you can't take that away from you. Yo, what does that statement mean to you?
Yo, really? Man, I'm glad. I didn't know we were going to touch on this, you know. Titles are gimmicks, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to say it up. You know, titles are gimmicks, but the reason people get championships is because the company puts a trust in you, you know, because they can rely on you for delivering these kind of matches, for, you know, putting asses in seats. This Brass Knuckles Championship, you know, I'm not saying other championships didn't mean nothing to me, but I knew what my role was. To be, you know, responsible for this championship, to be responsible for putting on a great match, you know, to really give all in my character and my wrestling. But this thing right here, you know, and Dmitry Alexandrov, I'd say #1 deathmatch wrestler in Texas. You know, and then he's all over the States. He's had these Japan tours, Australia tours, more with each other in Mexico, you know, and an awesome person that I could get advice from and learn from. And for him to put stock in me and to realize, like, man, you are a tough son of a bitch. Can I say that? Okay. Because, I mean, in reality, Emmanuel, I'm a veteran. I've gotten bullets fired at me. I've fired bullets. I've saved lives. I've seen it all. I've been in bar fights for fun, you know. I've been through a lot of things, you know. I've gotten a ton of fights. You know, I'm not trying to brag on that. Don't go out there and just get in fights for nothing.
You're a scrapper.
Yeah. You know, I have this thing lingering over my head, the PTSD, to where, it's a crutch, but at the same time, when I enter the deathmatch world, that's my superpower.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to another place. I want to feel something different. I'm not afraid of pain. I'm not afraid of violence. I welcome it, you know, when I have this deathmatch aura on. And for me, it was proving to everybody out there that I am the toughest guy, you know, in San Antonio. I am the toughest guy in Austin. I'm the toughest guy in Houston. Toughest guy in all of Texas.
Right.
You know, and this solidifies it. Because, you know, the matches that I've been in, the stuff that I put my body through, to people who are just like, how do you do that? I said, I just do it. Yeah. I love it.
Just go through the motions of it.
Yeah. And for this company to crown me as their first Brass Knuckles champion, deathmatch champion, it means so much to me. Because, believe it or not, yes, I love wrestling. I can wrestle. I know you see me do a little lucha stuff with that beat. Yeah. You know, in Austin.
That blows my mind.
I've done dives. I can wrestle.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fighting, I just love fighting more.
Yeah.
And with the death match, not only do I go out there and, you know, violence, hitting people with anything I can get my hands on, I also tell a story.
Yes.
I also incorporate my wrestling experience with deathmatch wrestling, and I tell a story. I love to tell a story because not only are the fans getting violence, but they're getting taken on a ride. You know, it's not just I get something and I hit you with it. No. There's a reason why I'm gonna hit you with something.
Yeah.
You know, we tell a story out there, especially if you're matched up with me. We're gonna tell a story. We're gonna give the fans what they want, and we're gonna mess each other up. You know.
I love the show that happened for the one that Ricky Asada had at the Fermenteria. And that was it's a no ring. I haven't seen a no ring in quite some time. What's the difference? I mean, besides the setting of a no ring show, but being in this controlled crowd and facing Mo Kelly for that title offense, How different is it than how you do things in a traditional ring, in a sense?
So let me touch on the no ring, and then I'll touch on Mo Kelly.
Yeah.
So the difference between being in a ring and a no ring, of course, there's no ring, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be more creative. You have to be a hell of a lot more creative, and that's where you learn kind of to work a little bit more. Yeah, I can't go off the ropes. I can't jump off the top rope, but I could jump off that chair. I could jump off that bar.
It's improvising.
I could jump off that bar. Yeah, I can't slam your head into a turnbuckle, but I could slam your head into a barbecue pit. I could slam your head into a table.
Right.
That's the thing. You have to be a little bit more creative, and you have to be willing to, get some pain, take some pain, as well as dish it out. It's a lot different. I don't know. Oh, you were there at the Fermenteria, right? So I don't know if you saw. There was a barbed wire chair.
Okay. I remember that spot. Okay.
There was a barbed wire chair on the concrete floor, and I also went to the moment that I just so happened to pour thumbtacks onto the barbed wire chair, thinking I'm just gonna hoist Mo Kelly up and toss him into there.
Yeah.
And Mo Kelly stopped that shit.
Who knows what could have happened?
He turned it around and he body slammed me onto that.
It's usually the guy who sets up the chair that gets the pain.
So, you take it from, hey, this guy just took a body slam on concrete, on top of a barbed wire chair, on top of thumbtacks, versus taking a body slam in a ring. Body slam in the ring, that looks nuts. But what we did was a lot more nuts.
Yeah.
So that's the creativeness, and that's still using, a wrestling move, but it just wasn't in the ring.
It's very improv.
In a ring, yes, it's traditional. That's the way it's supposed to be, and I respect that, to the max. And I love to have matches in the ring. I love to have matches out of the ring. I love to have a death match in the ring, combine them both. But there's the difference. You just got to be more creative.
Right.
You got to hold those fans. You got to make sure you don't lose them.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to make sure you don't lose them. Yeah, a death match that goes beyond 10 minutes, you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. And then back to Mo Kelly. Mo Kelly could do both. I held myself in high regard, being like, I can work in the ring, tell a story. I can work a death match, tell a story. I can work a no ring and tell a story. Well, Mo Kelly could do just the same.
Yeah.
And that's the first person I've kind of met who could really do that. Not taking anything away from any of my other opponents, because yes, everybody has their own attributes.
It's a very unique.
Yeah, but for Mo Kelly to adapt to it, because he's only had a handful of these matches, but for him to adapt to it, and his timing and his character and his willingness to be coached, it's amazing. And Mo Kelly's another different kind of character, a different kind of flavor, and I love watching him.
Yeah.
And the match we had, he brought it, man. I told him, I said, you need to bring it. I said, if you don't bring it, we're gonna have a problem. No, I had no problem, because he brought it. He brought it. Mo Kelly is a great wrestler. He's a great fighter. He's a great athlete. For a man his size, I've seen him come off the top rope, man.
Yep.
Do some crazy stuff. Yeah, Mo Kelly is a different breed. Mo Kelly's one to watch for. I don't know why he's not booked everywhere. Yeah, he's booked in a lot of promotions, but I don't know why Mo Kelly is not a name outside the States.
Because I remember that one spot with Misery, and Mo was trying to lift it, and it's like Thor. It's like he's not worthy to carry Misery. I had a good 3 seconds howling, and I was like, oh. And seeing how creative both of you guys are doing with your spots, it just shows that a lot of shows nowadays, it's not just the four ring posts and apron, tarp, and the ropes. It can go anywhere it needs to be.
Yeah, I think we went to the street.
Yes.
We stopped traffic a little bit.
I
didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm not even lying. I didn't know that was going to happen. We just went, and I guess he liked the smell of it, and we kept going. We kept going.
I was nervous about that, because if a cop shows up and it's like, oh, but thank goodness there wasn't. But to carry that match in terms of how, it's not just the ring, and you see in a controlled sense of where matches can be, and wrestling has really come a long way in terms of how things are done nowadays. And it's rare to see no ring shows, but it's nice to have it, in the Fermenteria.
Yeah, if they're done right,
Yes.
they're awesome. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people trying to do them. You know, it's a lot of hit and miss. But that night, I think all the matches that night were on point.
Oh, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun.
And the crowd was real intimate. I want to say there was at least maybe 50 people there, but it sounded like 150.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what I like, when the crowd could just, you know, they're so excited and they're so into this. Like, you know, the crowd, as much as the wrestlers are giving their all out there, you know, the crowd is giving their all.
Oh, yeah.
Cheering, booing, just being excited. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the show in the 8th at Breakaway. And what's nice, too, and I mentioned it before, where it's not necessarily like a warehouse or anything like that, but to have Breakaway as a partner and having the show, what was that first show like at Breakaway?
Nerve-wracking.
God damn it.
Nerve-wracking. My anxiety was through the roof. My doubts were through the roof. I have everybody and their mother telling me to, hey, chill out, Stache. It's going to be good. We're going to be okay. You know, and me just cussing everybody out that I saw, whether they're a part of Breakaway staff or United staff.
Wait, so you got thrown up? Okay. Got it. It took a second. I was like, wait, it's hard to tell people?
Yeah, like some of the Breakaway Brewery staff would be like, hey, Stache, you all right? I'd be like, fuck off. You know? United guys would be like, hey, Stache, it looks real good out there. Shut up. You know? But that's just me, and I told them, you know, it's like I don't know, I've been to a bar one time, and I'm like, hey, here's a 20, and I ordered my first drink and said, here's a 20 for your tip jar. They go, oh, thank you. I said, that's just in case I get too out of control to call you a bitch later.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that first show was real nerve-wracking. But you know, I have leadership on my staff. You know, to break the wall a little bit. Delicious Don Juan has become a real great addition to our staff, to where he's there trying to control me.
Yeah.
Trying to make the peace, because he's he's Jesus freak. You know, he loves Jesus. He puts all his faith, which is great. You know, and he just says, you know, it's in God's hands.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that. I'm like, let me meet this guy. You know, no, but so he was telling me, he was Stache. He goes, people love United. You know, the fans will come. You'll make new fans. And sure enough, I looked outside, like 30 minutes till bell time. I was like, shit, there's 20 people there.
Yeah.
2 minutes till bell time. I look out there, everything's full.
Yeah.
You know, everything's full. And I'm like, ugh.
It's divine intervention.
And everybody's making fun of me, like, hey, I don't think nobody's out there. And I'm like, man, yeah, it's full. My bad. I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, that first show was nerve-wracking. But after that first show, we gained so many new fans. And then the second show, you know, it wasn't so much pressure.
Because you know what's happening after the fact.
And then now we're coming up on the 8th, and I have every confidence in the world that, you know, I need all your chairs, hybrid. You know, I need
it's baby steps.
I need every kind of place we could sit on, at, whatever, from Breakaway Brewing Company. We bring out the picnic tables, you know, any kind of chair they have around, we put out there, and they fill up.
Yeah.
You know, the last Breakaway Brewing show we had, which was the third show, we had over 100 people sitting in seats.
There you go.
And then people bringing their own chairs.
Yeah.
My parents got to bring their own chairs to Breakaway Brewing because they can't get their regular chairs because they get there a little late. But they're used to bringing their own chairs. But like a lot of people were bringing their own chairs. A great sight to see, which a lot of the talent pointed out, was if you see across at the apartments, people are sitting out there watching.
Yeah. It's a free show.
Yeah, balcony show, man.
It's a free show.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, coming up on the 8th, I have no doubt in my mind we're gonna fill that place up again, and everybody's gonna have a great time.
I'll be there. I have to, because everyone's
beer
telling
specials, food specials. You can't beat that. Smash burger and JRA. Let's go.
Yeah, so this is fun, especially now, and we'll close out here. It's kind of nice seeing where United is and a lot of where San Antonio is heading, and seeing a lot of the guys here. And you're kind of like, can I say this? I will say this. You are basically like the heart and soul of San Antonio. Do you see yourself that way?
I tell everybody knows me. Everybody that's gonna watch this knows me. Like, I'm humble.
Mhm.
I have to be. That's how I was trained in the military, to be humble, no matter what happens, no matter what I do. But now I'm starting to accept that. I've had so many people tell me, you need to believe that. You need to, you need to own it. And yes, I can now accept it. So thank you for telling me that as well, because you're not from here. You're not from the South Side as well. You're from Austin, but you always followed it from your observations, from based on however people you run into,
Thank you.
interview and talk. Because I mean, you're a great, journalist, podcaster, and for you to say that means a lot, man. Because I always doubted myself, when we're on top here at the Yard. And we have so many great shows. Man, we had Gabe Sapolsky, WWE, scout coming to watch
Chase
us.
Owen too.
Khan.
Yeah.
Khan showed up on a whim, just being like, I want to work there. And
cool.
Oh my God. Bert Vixen has been here. Sho Funaki has been here a couple times, being like, hey man, I just want to hang out and be a part. Thunder Rosa paid for her and her father to come sit right there and watch us. And for all that, and for people to tell me like, man, you need to recognize it. Yes, you know what? I can own it. Yes, I do recognize that. I want to say yes, at heart and soul here on the South Side, heart and soul of United, pillar of the South Side, but so much more. Like, I just want to be known as someone who gave a shit.
Yeah.
Who really cares about this business, who cares about the community, who cares about San Antonio, with everything that's going on now, everything that's going on now politically in the nation, around the world, I want this to be a small escape from that, just so everybody can breathe for 2 hours and enjoy something, that's wholesome, that's fun, take away from the job, take away from all this political BS, and yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah, I can finally own it now and say, yes, I am the heart and soul.
We'll end our conversation here. Let's picture yourself as an adolescent you. So this was way, way back in the day. And if he hung out with you for a day, what would that younger version of you feel like hanging out with you with the life that you have, creating United, and now you're all over the Indies, working, and all at the same time you're having this full-time job as an educator. What would that younger person feel?
Honestly, before wrestling and everything, that younger person would have been like, I hate you. Now, that younger little Stache would say, I want to be like you when I grow up.
In what way? Because you mentioned, was there just something that's kind of like really holding you back at that time?
Before wrestling and everything, I was a very angry individual. Like I said, PTSD controlled my life after the military, after 2006, 7. I was very angry. I was an alcoholic. Yes, I'm drinking beer now, but I drink it out
moderation.
I drink it out of recreation, not out of need, But before, I was a very angry person. I was very, hateful to myself.
Yeah.
And I could have been a statistic. 22 veterans a day take their lives.
Yeah.
So instead of being a statistic, I say, let me be the underdog and let me win, because nobody expects that. Everybody expects, a veteran to take that route.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not expects it, but it happens. But let me go to school. Let me get my degree. Let me be an educator. Let me get in wrestling, because that's my dream. Let me excel at it.
Yeah.
Hell, what's next? Let me be a promoter. Let me excel at that. Hey, it's something new, deathmatch. Let me excel at that.
Yeah.
I mean, the drive that I have, it's not just because of me either. It's because of my support system. It's because of my family, my friends, my wrestling family, the community, people like you who take the time to come all the way from Austin, brother. On a Saturday, you could do something else, but you're here with
It was time.
But you're here with the Studstache.
Thank you.
And that means so much, man. That means so much. Things like that makes the younger Dave Gombos, the younger Studstache, be like, man, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that now, because before I wouldn't own that.
Yeah.
And now, I can't deny it. I can't.
If you were, we'll switch roles. If you were there to hang out with him, what advice would you give him?
I would say be patient.
Mm.
Be patient, man. Just be patient. Be patient. Have faith, and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe. Just take time to breathe. I always thought things were supposed to happen like this.
Yeah.
Like, and if I can give any advice to any wrestler out there, yeah, you can have a couple badass bookings, and you want shit to happen. Oh, I should be here. My money should be here. Man, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes you to be humble.
Yeah.
That too, be humble, man. Like if I was me telling my younger self, be humble when you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just be humble.
So, I have nothing left to give. You have the floor. The 8th is happening. Hype us up on what's going to happen at Breakaway Brewing Company.
For everybody that doesn't know, King Rob Love turned on me.
Yeah.
A long-time partner, my long-time brother.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what made all this happen. I have my theories, but I just can't really let them out yet because as far as I know, we're a team, we're brothers. It was all about it. And then he just switched up and just got crazy, just got evil, just got mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that story's continuing. I'm not booked on the 8th, but I'm going to be there. Don Juan, who is the general emperor, not general manager, general emperor. This is Don Juan.
That happened.
You know, he says I need a doctor's excuse. I sent him an email, said I'm cleared. I mean, I have a death match next week. You know, I'm wrestling on the 7th in Lytle.
Yep.
I don't know what else he needs, but he says, you know, I know you wrestle Bracho, and I can't control all that, but I control United. So like, oh yeah, whatever. I will be there. I will be there on the 8th. We have Calientita versus Mia Friday making her debut for United. We have Heartstoppers, Ollie Summers, and Jack Calloway fighting pretty badass Friday Party. They have a bunch of tag team championships in between them. And the gist of that is whoever gets the pin on whoever advances to the on-site briefcase ladder match.
Yep.
We have that. We have a delicious Don Juan over-the-top spring break challenge. I don't know what that's about. He's doing his own thing. He does his own thing, and I mean, he has the general managership, so he could do that.
Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor. We have, this is an announce as well, and I don't care if you air all this, I'm announcing it anyway. Tommy Bolton versus King Rob Love for the U.S. Championship.
Ooh.
I will have the front seat for that one, King. Okay. We have Casey Blackrose versus Epidemius Jr. in a nice contest.
Oh my God. That's a Texas 8 match.
Oh, yeah. Oh. And I just got word today, because before I met with you here, I was at Breakaway Brewing Company dropping off tickets, flyers, and they said, we're bringing Handlebar back. It's getting brewed for the 3rd time. So Handlebar is coming back.
That. I will get a 4-pack next Sunday. I gotta give Andrew a shout out, Andrew.
Yeah, Chef Andrew, man, and Chef Andrew also started. He signed his paperwork for Hybrid.
Yep, he's in production
last week, so he's gonna be doing production.
Nice.
Trying to be an announcer. As well as commentary, as well as learning everything behind the scenes.
I want to see Andrew on the booth. I would love to see that. Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. So a lot of great things coming. March 8th for the New Divide. What a perfect name, New Divide. King Rob Love, Studstache. You have the Dead Man's Hand, the Depleted Kingdom, which I still need to address with Ridley, Jesse Funaki. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, we're still the Kingdom.
Yep.
You have Chris Marvel, as a United Champion. And I think, the General Emperor and him, I know they're treats together, they're sharks together. And I think he's favoring them a little bit too much. But that's not my business, okay? We
have a show to run.
we have a Hit who just came back, who has a hit list. Mm-hmm. And, me and him had a one-on-one perfectly clear. He said, I don't care if the fans love me or hate me, because he knows they love Diego, the Sharks now. Well, he took out Diego and them, this past time. They didn't get the win, but I know he got his licks in. So he has a hit list.
Yep.
And he wants to gain that United Championship back. We have Diego Rene, who's a standout, heritage champion, still heritage champion. Mm-hmm. Ridley Thorne, man, the list goes on and on. And man, I feel like I'm still Oprah Winfrey and giving out matches and opportunities because I'm naming so much right now.
Yeah.
But man, it's United.
Yep.
You know, when you come to San Antonio and you're under our hood, we're all together, we're all united, we're all one family. And all you can expect now is just great action, great storylines, some of the best storylines in San Antonio, the best storylines in Texas
There
as
you go.
well. Man, you know, I can honestly own that. You give me the confidence. You know, but honestly, the stories is where it's at. That's what we're trying to give the fans. And
The
then
sky's the limit.
and then you have our story. Like I said, I don't know what to do. I'm still disheveled. I'm still just in disarray. I'm still just in disbelief. I don't know what happened. I don't know what to do. He has this whole group of evil dead man's hand guys. And yes, I have my kingdom, but at the same time, I don't want them to get involved with this BS. You know, I don't want them to take beatings or nothing like that. So I don't know what to do, man.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to do. I feel like I'm a lone wolf here in the 210.
There you go.
But I'm big. I'm bad. I won't back down. I won't go down. You know, it takes a lot to take the Stache out. As you could tell from the Brass Knuckles Championship, I'm a deathmatch man. Anything you do to me, King Rob Love, if you didn't kill me, you're in trouble.
Okay.
Because I'm standing here, sitting here, drinking beers with Emmanuel, and I'm still alive, and it's your ass.
One thing we'll close out to is shout out to Knopf. I know Knopf is recording Tall Can too, so
We have our first show this Tuesday.
Oh shoot!
Just me and Knopf.
So by the time we release this, Knopf's is out the next day. So
Yeah.
huge shout out to Knopf. I know he's been all over the place with Tall Can listening. So make sure his episode's out on Tuesday on all platforms. So Stache, thank you so much for having you on this premiere. It's been months in the making.
I remember. Yeah, we've been talking about this forever. But for you to do it here at the Holy Grail.
Yep, where it all started.
Wrestling in San Antonio, where it all started, the yard. It's just me and you here having the yard. This is the yard all to ourselves.
There you go. So this will be the end of the line for this episode because the next episode will be episode 100. So whoever's going to be there next week, I gave it away who that was, if you listen carefully.
So that's episode 100. This is episode 99.
99.
The Nasty Channel of Paragon Cable's old box, channel 99. The Nasty Channel, baby.
I knew you were going to say that.
Hell yeah.
There you go. So we'll end our episode here. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're at. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be on to the next one. Bye.